What happens when that girl takes over? Let me describe the situation. Thankfully, I've been lucky enough to have some really good, really long campaigns in D&D. So my exposure to both terrible PCs and DMs is limited. However, I am still not immune. No one is immune. No one. This is one of the few random games I've ever joined with people I wasn't familiar with, and I can honestly say it made me a bit of a jerk towards women briefly, as it was the first game I ever played with a real-life girl, and it nearly turned me away from playing with them ever. Thankfully, right after, I got to play with the most bestest amazing girls I've ever had the privilege of playing with, so good save Kiki and Grizz. Anyways, this is your standard high fantasy D&D startup. Everyone wanders into a tavern type, save the town from Noel's game. We have a standard group. Pally, played by a friend of mine. Rogue, played by a guy I didn't really know. Ranger, played by her, the Dat Girl. Cleric, played by the DM's friend. And me, a Wizzy. I'm stoked because I'm rolling a wizard. My first. As prior, I had been typecasted into a cleric or tank role, so I was so ready to roleplay all those really cool spells and components, and being a power-hungry, borderline personality disorder having pyromaniac. Or, well, it would have been really cool. Enter that girl. The uncomfortability gets going fairly quick. Session 2. We're still getting our footing as a group, sort of filling out each other's characters while hunting down some bandits, or something, when she blurted out to the rogue that their characters are going to have a romance. Everyone sort of furrows a brow. It's a tad early for all that, right? Also, that's sort of meta. That should be an organic type of thing. Rogue says out of character that he's not trying to do that. It's not gonna mesh with his backstory. That girl isn't swayed. 3 sessions go by, each worse than the last, filled with uncomfortable and unnecessary sidebars with really overt roleplay romancing from that girl. Rogue initially deals with it in stride, being nice about it, letting her down easy, all the stuff you'd imagine. DM even attempts to soothe the situation with a few mystery boxes, revealing more about Rogue's past. Story might have been really cool had we made it further, but finally, Rogue breaks and tells that girl's character to back off. He's not interested. I mean, brutally so. Now that girl is visibly hurt out of character. Everyone at the table saw it. She was angry. Oh no, I thought. But her character seems to accept it. We all breathe some signs of relief and hope to continue on with the campaign. Next session arrives. That girl decides to show us what happens when she doesn't get her way. She is now apparently going to attempt to romance every other party member, or worse, spend an inordinate amount of time role-playing about how the rogue had left her crushed, depressed, and alone. She was a role-playing ninja. We, being young men, and very much not wanting to be mean to a girl, a tabletop gaming girl at that, were at a loss as to what to do. She knew it, and used it. Every single sidebar, invaded. Every single exposition, invaded. Your story was now her story. Each and every one of us, at one time or another, being propositioned for an inappropriate exchange and flirted with, or about how she understood based on her character's insert bad inappropriate childhood story here. The DM seemed to be at a loss as much as we were. She was able to toe the line of offense so well that you couldn't quite get mad. That, combined with our inability as a group of males to comfortably call her out on it, as she was never derisive or rude or gross. She could walk us to the edge, but never push us over. She became the absolute center of the game. We were just orbiting her weird black hole of self-infliction stories and weird borderline inappropriate fantasy. Each one of us, at one time or another, were forced to endure a long-winded, uncomfortable in-character conversation as to why we didn't A. Find that girl's character attractive, B. Couldn't be with her, and C. What we wanted, and if she could become that for us. With each passing role-playing session, lines were being drawn deeper into our faces from emotional exhaustion. It was completely crazy. You want to roleplay cool spells and save towns? Nah, dog. Let's talk about our insecurities, childhood mother issues, and repressed desires. Eventually, she tried flirting with an NPC. The DM was desperately trying to put an end to all this and outright railroaded and blocked her. Rolls or no rolls? Not happening. She got mad and accused him of something. I honestly do not remember what. But the floodgates opened up. He ripped her a new one, told her how she hijacked the game for little more than spite, that she was being offensive and acting out, even admitting he messed up for letting it get too far. She accused him of all the tropey bad guy stuff, that we all couldn't handle playing with a girl, how she didn't need to play with us because there were like 5 other parties begging her to play with them. She said basically everything you'd expect a spoiled bratty person to say. The next session, she wasn't there, but Rogue also bailed. Then the pally, and so the game died on the vine. As I said, it made me super afraid of playing with a girl again. She was so cliche. It was horrid PR. But again, I played later with some girls who were awesome, who made me a better player just by being around them. Beware the that guys and the that girls. They lurk in the dark places. One player should not have so much power. I do find it interesting that after she left, the other party members left too. I wonder if there was another side story that we were missing here. Ultimately, if a game is emotionally draining you, just stop. You don't need to suffer on your free time. Like that girl was saying, there are groups that would love to have you. What do you all think about this situation?